Hello all my friends. This is a very special video since in January this channel reached 300 plus subscribers, and to celebrate I'm doing a quick layout tour. So there you see what it looks like when the garage door is open, the car still parked inside and the lift bridge in the up position. Then when the car is pulled out of the garage, this is the sight that greets you. The dust covers are still down. Here the lift bridge has been lowered into position and the dust covers have been rolled up. And here we see the links between the upper and lower levels. And we start the tour in East London Harbour, which is a branch line that has got a harbour and it connects back to Waterkloof, the main station / yard. In East London there's an operating lighthouse, and then the dockside cranes, as well as a container depot. And behind the dockside cranes, you'll see there's a fuel depot and oil and fuel storage facilities. A lot of small little detail scenes, like the lady of the night in red leaning against the building, the forklift transporting a box of heavy stuff, and the guy admiring his car, and also some shady deals taking place around the corner at the back where nobody can see clearly. You can see some more of the detail of the oil and fuel distributor and a vehicular loading bay where tankers are loaded, and some more tanks and some drums for oil and lubricant, and then some of the container storage and a container chassis waiting to be loaded. And into East London Harbour, you have to pass through the customs gate, and you can see a customs officer sitting inside at the table, busy filling out the paperwork. Then we move to Waterkloof, and here we see the Waterkloof diesel depot, plus the shed where the parts are kept and the mechanic ready to run and help where the loco has broken down. And then we see the sanding towers, as well as the pump station for the diesel oil. And then we will also see the little hose where the diesel is being pumped from, plus the drain in the ground where the excess drips are caught up to. And then we continue and we see on the platform, on the passenger platform, there's a telephone booth if somebody needs to call for a taxi, and some more detail in the yard. And then from the diesel depot, if we move to the left, we actually enter into the yard itself. You can see there's a loaded car train waiting to go to the harbour to be unloaded. There's a few passenger coaches waiting to join up with a train, a mixed freight train. And then there's a passenger train waiting to depart, and there's a steam loco out of place at the moment, that's waiting for repairs. And then as we go further to the left, we see there's some detail scenes with squirrels, two on the roof of a little shack trying to steal two pumpkins. Here we have another detail scene with guys having a barbecue or a braai, and there's a cat lover with some cats sitting at the back of his house, and there's a house under construction. And we see the container where all the building materials are being kept, as well as a guy busy loading a wheelbarrow with some sand so they can mix some more cement. And the boss, if you had a quick glimpse, was sitting inside the loo. This little building is Fat Boy and Company. That is a model of the shop that prints my backdrops for me, and they are situated in Pietermaritzburg. In this flat block of flats or apartments, it's well inhabited, and you can see there's a very loving couple living on the first floor and some other individuals living on the second and third floors. Then we progress to Allows, where the big car factory is situated. You can see the empty car carriers waiting to be loaded, plus a gondola of all the scrap pieces. And next to the track we have two little meerkats watching the trains go by, but they're very, very tiny, and the paint did not take too well on them. And there's a little pigeon sitting on the windmill that is busy falling apart, so the farmer needs to do some more maintenance. And then we continue down the track, seeing the signal box and the signal, not signal box, the instrument box for the signals, and moving on all the way down to the Allows station. And then we see there's a disabled parking and a few vehicles parked at the station, and the station master waiting to wave the train on in the little pulpit on the platform, where they hand over the clearance tablet. And that little green flashlight has got a sliding down piece on it to help with uncoupling when it's operating at night. And here we see the cement factory, and there's a truck being loaded with a forklift, but that's not the only customers. You'll see shortly there's also some more rural customers coming to buy cement with a donkey cart. Then the level right above Allows is called Power, and there's a reason for that. There's a major coal-fired power station, and on the opposite end of Power there's a coal mine that supplies coal to the power station. So that's the train departing from the coal mine, fully loaded with coal, and that will bring the coal to the power station. And the power station is called Machipupi, in honor of the Mahadupi power station in South Africa. And then this is my signature scene on the layout, the waterfall and the bridge and the rock formations. This is about 2 meters, or about 10 to 12 feet long. And that little button controls the turnout to the coal mine, and that water pipe has got a uncoupling dowel in the top of it. So that little white piece you take and you pull out. And behind that rock face, you see the staging track where 4 trains are staged. There's a view of the Disaster coal mine. Waiting to be unloaded there is a explosives wagon and a wood rough timber wagon. And here we see a train entering the station opposite Power. That is the station called Vlakteplaas, which is a little Karoo town, still stuck in time with semaphore signals. And we see the steam loco running past there with the orange express train, and halted by the red signal. Because that is still stuck in time, we have a steam depot with some pigeons nesting on the roof, the semaphore signals, and then as we progress, we will see that there's a coaling stage with some steam locos waiting to have their tenders filled with coal. And just beyond the coaling stage, there's also an ash pit that still needs some scenery to be completed. You can see at the moment it's plywood and not the ash that's supposed to be down there, and brick siding and so on. And there's a little shed at the back for storage of all the implements. And then we see the train waiting to depart once the signal has turned green. But in front of the train there's a fruit packing company and a grain silo. You can see these pallets being stacked up and waiting to be loaded. And there we have a green signal, and off we go into platform 2 in Bloemfontein, which is the major passenger station. And once we halt, we will have a look at the station building in a bit more detail. You see some patrons sitting outside at the cafe. And then we have an old-time advertising board. And if we look through the windows, the video is a bit bumpy. You can see there's interior detail. The bottom there's a couple playing pool, and the top there's a bar with bathrooms. And here we look at Platform 1, also the station master waiting with the tablet in hand, the station name, and the signals controlling train movement out of the station, and some of the businesses around Bloemfontein. And this is the OVK, Oos-Vrystaat Corporatie, or the co-op. And then we come to the end of the tour, since from here we move on to power again. So thank you for watching, and please subscribe to the channel. Let's see if we can make it 500.